Here's a sobering statistic. Did you know that 10,000 baby boomers in the U.S. hit age 50 every day? This is a huge group of people, swelling the ranks for senior citizens faster than ever before. And if this is you or your parents, we want to know what can be done to preserve brain function and memory for as long as possible. I'm David Toman, author of Nootropics Expert and this YouTube channel. No one likes the thought of having to take care of anyone in old age whose brain is no longer functioning like it should. Think Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, or any of the other severe brain problems that can creep up on us as we get older. The thing is, memory loss is not a normal part of aging. But recent research on aging and brain function have found that as we get older, individual brain molecules, cells, cerebral circulation, and even the physical shape of your brain are affected in some way. Now, some of these changes begin right around your 21st birthday. So if you're a young neurohacker, this video is for you as much as it is for the aging baby boomer or senior citizen. And a study published in 2014 in the medical journal called Nature showed that the human body ages in bursts, with rapid changes occurring around 44 and then another burst around 60 years old. But the good news is that the human brain has an amazing ability to repair and maintain itself even into old age. All we have to do is give it what it needs to survive and thrive. And worries about dementia or memory loss go away. And that is what this video is all about. It's based on a lengthy article that I published on my website, nootropicsexpert.com, called The Best Nootropics for the Aging Brain. You'll find a link to this article down in the notes section below this video. But in this video, I'll share with you only the supplements that you need to take care of each category of brain aging and for longevity. Now, these are the same supplements that I recommend to consultation clients and what I personally use every day as well. Now, before we get started, please hit the subscribe button and share this video. I also do consultations, so if you need more help, then schedule an hour with me. You'll find a link to my calendar above or down below in the notes section below this video. And keep in mind that I have videos for each of the supplements that I'm talking about in this video. Use the search field above here on YouTube if you'd like to learn more about any particular supplement I mentioned in this video. So let's get started. In this video, I briefly explain what can and often does go wrong as your brain ages, and then I'll suggest a couple of nootropic supplements that can correct each problem before it causes any lasting damage. Because our goal is to maintain full or even optimized cognitive function until the very end. Extensive research has shown that oxidation of DNA, proteins, and lipids by free radicals are responsible for functional decline in your brain. And to help you wrap your brain around this idea, it's estimated that 10,000 oxidative interactions between DNA and free radicals occurs in each brain cell every day. And as you get older, at least one of 3 proteins per cell is dysfunctional because of this oxidative damage. Your immune system was designed from the start to scavenge these free radicals before they did any damage to brain cells. But our immune system can't keep up as we get older. So we need to support our immune system and mitochondrial function with nootropic supplements to put a stop to these free radicals and oxidative damage once and for all. And these are the supplements that I recommend to take care of free radicals and to support your immune system. Alpha-lipoic acid is a natural occurring sulfur-containing fatty acid that is unique among other antioxidants because it's both water and fat soluble. Alpha-lipoic acid has the unique ability to neutralize free radicals in all cellular environments. This potent antioxidant can even reduce brain damage after a stroke. It boosts the synthesis of acetylcholine and it increases glucose uptake in mitochondria, which is needed to help produce adenosine triphosphate, or ATP for short, which is your main energy supply. Alpha-lipoic acid regenerates other depleted antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E, glutathione, and it recycles CoQ10, reducing inflammation and getting rid of heavy metals, boosting cellular energy and memory. Alpha-lipoic acid should be part of every nootropic stack. The recommended dosage is 200 milligrams per day. CoQ10 is a natural antioxidant synthesized in every single cell in your body and brain. CoQ10 is an electron donor that helps produce adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, within your brain cell mitochondria, and which is your main source of energy. Studies show that supplementing CoQ10 protects against brain cell damage by raising energy levels. It preserves brain function and helps fight mental illness and migraines. You have 2 CoQ10 options for your nootropic stack: ubiquinone and ubiquinol. If you're under 45 and in good health, you can likely get the benefit of CoQ10 with the less expensive ubiquinone. If you're over 45, you're better off with ubiquinol. The recommended CoQ10 dosage for longevity is 200 milligrams a day. NAC is a derivative of the naturally occurring amino acid L-cysteine, and it works primarily by helping to restore your body's natural antioxidant, glutathione. Glutathione is a potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory and a free radical scavenger. Supplementing NAC helps prevent glutamate toxicity, and it's the only supplement that I know of that helps restore dysfunctional dopamine receptors, which is particularly important for warding off Parkinson's disease. The recommended dosage for NAC is 500 milligrams 3 times per day. Sulforaphane is anti-inflammatory, and it reduces oxidative stress in cells. It is well known for treating traumatic brain injury and has even been shown to help in the treatment of autism. Sulforaphane is often marketed to men for prostate issues and for frequent urination. The recommended sulforaphane dosage for brain health is 35 milligrams per day. Research over the last several years has shown that our brain has a remarkable ability to rewire itself through life. Every time we have a new thought, encode a new memory, or learn a new skill, we are building a new neural network in our brain. Integral to these neural networks are neurons connected through their dendrites and axons via synapses. The numbers and size of synapses change during aging. During normal, healthy brain aging, the number of synapses remains the same in most brain regions. In regions where they decrease, the remaining synapses may increase in size to compensate. On the other hand, there is a profound decrease in synapse numbers in brain regions involved in learning and memory in people with Alzheimer's. Other brain regions lose synapses in Parkinson's and Huntington's disease. A reduction in the number of synapses could be the cause of brain shrinkage as we get older. Our brain loses about 5% of its weight per decade after age 40. Studies have shown that this synapse loss in neurodegenerative disorders occurs early in the disease process, long before brain cell death and symptoms occur. Most of the signal transduction pathways that regulate the health and survival of your neurons take place in synapses. Research shows that synapse signaling systems are particularly vulnerable to oxidative stress and decreases in energy. Remember, I talked about free radicals and oxidative stress earlier in this video, and that's what you can use to reduce free radicals. But we also know that age-related decreases in brain-derived neurotropic factor, or BDNF for short, promotes synapse degeneration and brain cell death. And the best way to prevent age-related problems with synapse loss is by using nootropics that boost the growth of new synapses by boosting BDNF. And I have a video on this channel that I did earlier called 13 Nootropics to Boost BDNF. And since I published that video, I have discovered another 7 nootropics that also boost BDNF. So we know that it's easy to boost BDNF with nootropics. The thing is, we often use the supplement for an entirely different reason. It turns out that one of the side benefits of that supplement is that it also boosts BDNF. So take a look at your list and look at the research and find out. These are the 5 best nootropic supplements that I recommend for boosting BDNF, but they provide some other critical brain health benefits too. Your brain contains billions of brain cells, and each brain cell is enclosed in or surrounded by a membrane. These brain cell membranes are made up of phosphatidylserine, phosphatidylcholine, and DHA, which is an omega-3. And these three phospholipids decline as we get older. As they decline, the brain cell membrane hardens and loses its permeability, making it harder for the good stuff like water and oxygen and nutrients to get into the cell and harder for that garbage and toxins to get back out of the cell. This manifests in everyday life as short-term and working memory are not as good. Verbal fluidity suffers. Your reaction time is slower. You can't think on your feet. When you're reading, you're rereading sentences. This goes on long enough, it can result in anxiety and or depression. And long-term, it could be Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, ALS, Huntington's, and more. So, to keep these cell membranes healthy and permeable, we can use phosphatidylserine, which works with DHA for brain cell membrane repair and maintenance. Some consider phosphatidylserine to be the most potent nootropic on the planet. And if you see my video review on phosphatidylserine on this channel, you'll see why. Phosphatidylserine also boosts BDNF for synapse health and growth. The recommended phosphatidylserine dosage is 300 milligrams per day. DHA also boosts BDNF and will help repair synapses and works in synergy with phosphatidylserine, which I just talked about, for brain cell membrane health. The thing is that DHA is an omega-3 and often found in fish oil, but you cannot get enough DHA by using just a fish oil supplement or most omega-3s. We need 1,000 milligrams per day of DHA. So you need to find a high-quality DHA supplement, and they do exist. I recommend and use Performance Lab Omega-3, which contains twice the DHA compared to EPA, and is made from a patented form of marine algae. You will find a link to Performance Lab Omega-3 below, down in the notes section below this video. L-Theanine, which is extracted from green tea, helps reduce cortisol. It boosts GABA, dopamine, serotonin, and BDNF levels in your brain, and it boosts alpha and theta brain waves for kind of like an alert relaxation and creativity. And it's a great way to reduce agitation or feeling on edge. L-Theanine, the recommended dose, is 100 milligrams 3 times a day. Magnesium is the fourth most abundant mineral in your body and critical for optimal cognitive health. It is a cofactor in more than 600 enzymatic reactions in your body and brain. Magnesium regulates the activity in neuron ion channels, governing the flow of neurotransmitters. It increases levels of BDNF and nerve growth factor, which is needed to produce red blood cells. You need magnesium to make myelin, which is the protective coating around axons, and it attaches to the same GABA-A receptor as Ambien, so it helps you sleep. The recommended nootropic dosage for magnesium is 400 milligrams taken before bed. Make sure that it's a chelated form of magnesium, like magnesium L-threonate, or malate, or taurate, or glycinate, or biglycinate. I recommend Performance Lab Magnesium, which you'll find a link below in the notes section. Alzheimer's and dementia is a huge problem and is growing every day and is now the 6th leading cause of death in the U.S. You should be particularly concerned if you have a family member dealing with dementia or Alzheimer's, because certain genetic abnormalities put you at a higher risk for these types of diseases. The good news is I found several nootropic supplements that studies have found to specifically help fight the types of abnormalities that lead to dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and Huntington's. The key to neurodegenerative prevention with any of the nootropics I'm about to talk about is to start using them every day a couple of decades before symptoms of any of these diseases would normally show up. For example, vitamin D3 is needed for serotonin synthesis, release, and function. It regulates executive function, sensory gating, and social behavior. Vitamin D is required for the synthesis of not only serotonin, but also GABA, glutamate, glutamine, and dopamine in your brain. It reverses inflammation and improves the clearance of amyloid beta implicated in Alzheimer's. The recommended dosage for vitamin D3 is 5,000 IU per day. But get your labs done, including vitamin D labs, and find out if you need to lower or increase your dose of this important vitamin. Huperzine-A boosts neuron resistance to beta amyloid-induced dysfunction that could lead to diseases like Alzheimer's. Beta amyloid affects ATP levels in mitochondria. Huperzine-A protects against this damage. The recommended nootropic dosage for Huperzine-A is 200 micrograms every second day. Resveratrol activates AMPK, which reduces levels of amyloid beta deposits in the cerebral cortex. Resveratrol prevents B-amyloid aggregation by scavenging oxygen-free radicals in inducing protective enzymes such as heme oxygenase, again preventing the buildup of deposits causing Alzheimer's. Resveratrol can also prevent amyloid beta proteins from clumping together into small collections of individual molecules called oligomers. This action alone has a profound effect on preventing amyloid beta damage and preventing Alzheimer's. The recommended nootropic dosage for micronized resveratrol is 250 milligrams per day. Piracetam is used around the world to treat cognitive impairment in aging, brain injuries, dementia, and Alzheimer's disease. Several studies have found that piracetam enhances ATP production, mitochondrial membranes, and neurite outgrowth in neurons. In one study, researchers showed that piracetam is able to repair mitochondria in those with mild Alzheimer's and return cell function back to normal. The recommended nootropic dosage for piracetam is 1,000 milligrams 3 times a day. Research shows that St. John's wort extract decreases oxidative stress, prevents neurotoxicity, and it controls inflammation. And it may be an effective treatment for oxidative stress-related neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. The recommended nootropic dosage for St. John's wort Parica extract is up to 900 milligrams per day. Likely the best natural supplement that I have found to prevent Alzheimer's or dementia is curcumin, which is the most active compound that is isolated from turmeric and goes after this horrible disease from several different angles. Curcumin may help macrophages clear the amyloid plaques found in Alzheimer's disease. The effect of curcumin on neuroglial cells involves decreased astrocyte proliferation, improved myelin genesis, and increased activity and differentiation of oligodendrocytes. In other words, curcumin deals with activated microglia and reactive astrocytes around amyloid beta plaques in the brains of patients with Alzheimer's. Curcumin decreases the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines, the type of chronic inflammation found in the neurons of Alzheimer's disease. Several studies show that curcumin inhibits the inflammation which is linked to Alzheimer's. Curcumin binds to amyloid beta proteins found in Alzheimer's disease and blocks its self-assembly. Studies show that heavy metals can induce amyloid beta aggregation and toxicity and are concentrated in the Alzheimer's brain. Curcumin, by interaction with heavy metals such as cadmium and lead, prevents neurotoxicity caused by these metals. And finally, high-fat diets and increased blood cholesterol are linked to increased amyloid plaques. Curcumin inhibits cholesterol formation and decreased serum peroxides, benefiting the prevention of Alzheimer's disease. At the conclusion of my research into turmeric and curcumin, I concluded that if you did one thing to prevent Alzheimer's disease, take 750 milligrams of turmeric extract, which is 95% curcuminoids, 3 times a day for the rest of your life, and you should avoid getting Alzheimer's. But make sure to combine it with 20 milligrams of bioperine or piperine, and you'll boost the absorption of curcumin by up to 2,000%. Your chances of developing white matter lesions, stroke, and dementia increases with age. If your family has a history of these types of diseases, your chances are even higher. White matter lesions damage the white matter in your brain. The primary cause seems to be poor blood circulation and the development of blood vessels that are too small to carry blood efficiently. Blood vessel damage is associated with high blood pressure and small vessel disease, and it puts you at a greater risk for stroke and other cognitive problems. Dementia and vascular dementia seem to be related. Both types are associated with a host of brain problems, including increased risk of Alzheimer's, strokes, disorders of the blood-brain barrier, and arteriosclerosis. Research has shown that problems with brain blood flow, white matter lesions, and other associated brain cellular changes begin in midlife. So it's never too early to begin taking the nootropic supplements I'm just about to share with you to help you avoid these types of issues, especially if you have a family history of dementia and stroke. You may find that a nootropic you're already using for boosting some other area of cognitive health also increases blood flow, which protects your brain from dementia or stroke. By far, the best way to increase brain blood flow is to take Vinpocetine. Vinpocetine is a semi-synthetic derivative of vincamine, and alkaloid derived from the lesser periwinkle plant. Vinpocetine is used primarily to increase brain blood flow. Vinpocetine inhibits an enzyme called PDE1 while reducing calcium levels in brain cells. When both of these are elevated, the smooth muscle in blood cells contract, or blood vessels contract, restricting blood flow to that area of the brain. In 2 separate clinical studies, chronic ischemic post-stroke patients were treated with either a single infusion or a daily infusion of vinpocetine for 2 weeks. The results showed increased brain blood flow, especially in the thalamus, basal ganglia, and visual cortex regions of the brain. Vinpocetine has also been shown to reduce neuronal cell death that has been implicated in the development of Parkinson's disease, and it also slows the accumulation of amyloid beta protein that's implicated in Alzheimer's. Unfortunately, vinpocetine has been banned by the FDA in the United States because one of the big drug companies wants to make a drug out of it. Vinpocetine is actually a prescription drug in several European countries. But you can still buy vinpocetine in the United States from Life Extension. I've included a link to this amazing nootropic supplement down in the notes section below this video. The recommended dosage for vinpocetine is 10 milligrams taken 3 times a day. Studies show that major neurotransmitters, dopamine and serotonin levels decline as we age. Dopamine levels begin to decline by 10% per decade starting in your early 20s. And the neurotransmitters acetylcholine, GABA, and serotonin decline as we age as well, starting in your early 20s. Unless you give your brain the tools that it needs to make more dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, and GABA. Simply increasing each of these major neurotransmitters can have a powerful effect on learning and memory, and your mood and anxiety, and simply how you feel, as well as avoiding many of the brain diseases that often come with getting older. I'll share with you in a minute how you can increase each of these neurotransmitters. But you also need to know that the B vitamins work as cofactors in the synthesis of each of these neurotransmitters as well. I use and recommend the Performance Lab Nutrigenesis Bioactive B Complex. There's a link to that supplement down below in the notes section below this video. Now, this is the safest and quickest way to increase each of these neurotransmitters naturally. L-Tyrosine is a precursor to the synthesis of dopamine and norepinephrine for learning and memory and less brain fog. Recommended dosage for L-Tyrosine is 500 milligrams twice a day. Citicoline provides the choline molecule required for the synthesis of acetylcholine for executive function, learning, memory, flow state, and mood. The recommended dosage for CDP-Choline is 300 milligrams twice per day. And we use it with, because it's a cofactor, Acetyl-L-Carnitine, or ALCAR for short, is a required cofactor for acetylcholine synthesis because it is used to produce Coenzyme A, which works with the choline molecule provided by CDP-Choline to make acetylcholine in your brain and body. ALCAR also helps transport fatty acids into mitochondria to make adenosine triphosphate for more energy. And it boosts brain-derived nootropic factor needed for cell repair and for neurogenesis. The recommended dosage for acetyl-L-Carnitine, or ALCAR, is 500 milligrams twice a day. L-Tryptophan is a safer alternative to 5-HTP for long-term use. It's a precursor to the synthesis of serotonin and melatonin. The recommended dosage for L-Tryptophan is 500 milligrams before bed. GABA is used to produce GABA. I recommend PharmaGABA, which is grown in Lactobacillus hilgardi bacteria, and then the GABA is harvested. It is the same form of GABA that you produce in your gut, so you can use a much lower dose. The recommended dosage for PharmaGABA is only 250 milligrams before bed. Most of the nootropics reviewed here on Nootropics Expert YouTube channel could be considered anti-aging supplements. Now, I've done a lot of research that shows that taking the right nootropic supplements can optimize brain health and protect you from cognitive decline well into the future. But choosing the best nootropics for you can be a challenge. And that is why I made this video. If you use all of the nootropic supplements I described in this video, you will have the best and most effective anti-aging nootropic stack on the planet. You cannot avoid aging with a single pill. It takes a methodical, planned approach to age gracefully and have a fully functioning brain to the end. I have consulted with thousands of people from all over the world, and many are using the supplements I described in this video. I also use most of the supplements I talked about. These supplements work. My suggestion is to use the supplements you heard about in this video, use them consistently every day for a month, and then check in with how you feel. From what we know now, we can go a long way to giving your brain a chance to heal and recover if you have problems with things like memory or depression. Even if you aren't dealing with cognitive decline yet, you need to take steps today to prevent the aging of your brain and maintain lifelong optimal cognitive health. So that's my updated report on the best nootropic supplements for longevity. If you want to see links to the studies I mentioned in this video, go to my website, nootropicsexpert.com, and search for my article on aging. There you'll find a full transcript for this video. And while you're there, you'll also find articles and reviews on all of the most popular nootropics used in the world today. If you haven't already, download your pre-copy of Secrets of the Optimized Brain. It's nearly 100 pages and contains details in 92 of the most popular nootropics used today. And my 4-time award-winning book, the second edition of Head First, The Complete Guide to Healing and Optimizing Your Brain with Nootropic Supplements, is available worldwide. Head First, the second edition, is 962 pages and is available in hardcover, paperback, or for iPad or Kindle. You can get your copy at any major bookseller, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Balboa Press, Apple Books, Walmart, and other bookstores around the world. You'll find a link to these stores below in the notes section below this video. And did I mention that Head First won 4 awards? You really need to get a copy if you haven't already. Head First, like I said, is available worldwide. Now, if you're feeling frustrated and think that you could use some professional help with choosing the right nootropics, or just figuring out how to deal with your own brain health issues, consider booking a personal consultation with me. You'll find a link to my calendar below, down in the notes section below this video. And if you want to see more videos on all the best nootropics used today, subscribe to this channel before you leave. And liking this video and leaving a comment really does help reach more people. And I love hearing what you all have to say, so make sure to leave a comment. Now, if you'd like to go the extra mile and support this channel even further, you can use the Super Chat thanks feature. Every little bit helps us to create more content like this, and as a special thank you, I'll give you a shout out in my next video. So don't forget to like, comment, and if you're feeling extra generous, consider a super thanks. And thank you for watching. I'm David Toman, author of Nootropics Expert.